Sensors online. Weapons online. All systems nominal.
I charge forth, unafraid, into the enemy's lair. I will not yield. I will not bow. I will destroy them in the heart of their evil temple of evilness. I will destroy them all, for they have dared to come up against I, the mighty Toxked. I shall shatter your armies, scatter your forces, and those who dare to stand against me shall feel my wrath. I am unstoppable! I can take anything you try to throw at me. Oh, this could hurt. Yeah, this could hurt a lot. Ow. Yeah, that hurt. Let's take a look at some combat footage. I'll dissect the situations, what was going on, why I did what I did, how things worked out, and of course the ever so important 20/20 hindsight on what I should have done and shouldn't have done to make the situation work out better. If you record your battles, you're able to go back and review them and see what you should and shouldn't have done to do better in the future. It's not always easy to pick up on a lot of things when you're in the heat of the moment, and some of the things you simply don't know until it happens. Some of these were some great matches that just things worked out so perfectly and it just worked out wonderfully well, and some were not as impressive, but nonetheless they were interesting to look at. Regardless, they can be a learning experience, both for what I did and for how the opponents responded. If you learn from your own mistakes and the mistakes of your enemy, you'll do far better. Okay, here in this match, I wanted to give a demonstration of using a Cicadia in close support, and for the most part I did. What I was doing here is advancing a little bit beyond the group, scouting out a little bit, trying to see what direction they wanted to choose. What direction did they want to go in? Once I saw what direction they wanted to go in, I went into a little bit of a scout mode, come out ahead, wanting to see what's going on, go up on the top here, look over on the other side, try to scout around a little. Basically, I'm trying to make contact and find out where they are so that my other team members can respond accordingly. Or, ideally, find their scouts, counter them. And I'm not seeing anything, which tells me they probably went around to our left side, may have gone down the middle. So I'm still using cover here, trying to prevent myself from being spotted if at all possible. If I am spotted, trying to minimize my exposure. Advance up, fall back, peek around. There is nothing coming, so there's definitely nothing on the left, or their left, our right path. Come around, there's not much down on this side of the middle, but there's still another center path that they could have taken. So, cautiously I venture forth, looking around, and there are enemy.
Acquired.
The Atlas there is running
acquired.
the ECM, so I can't get a lock on him, so I keep trying. Then I tried taking a shot, the reason being is I'm trying to distract him from the front to delay his arrival. You saw the radical turn red, so he took damage, yet he doesn't respond.
New target
And then,
acquired.
I see he wasn't the last one in line. So this other guy. So not only did the Atlas take damage to his back, he didn't look around. This guy takes damage to his back, doesn't look around. I maintain a lock. You see the missiles coming in, I'm spotting for friendlies to start firing on them. What's surprising me is the fact that these guys aren't turning around. Do they think it's a friendly goofing around? I mean, that makes no sense to me. Even if it's a friendly, he shoots me in the back, I'll turn around and give him a shot. He's like, what are you thinking? We're on the same team here. So, I'm not sure quite if they're just oblivious to the situation, they have no situational awareness or what, but I thought that was very interesting.
New target acquired.
So the majority took the center path. Here I am doing a little close support distraction.
New target acquired.
Running around. Again, my goal here is to distract them from the main fight ahead of them, do some damage, so hopefully either take fire off as they're trying to move around and see what's going on, or delay their approach into battle altogether, exposing their back to friendlies that have far more firepower. Some of their scouts trying to capture the base and harass us. Maneuvering fight here.
Base is being captured.
Definitely a bunch of them poured through this ravine, exposing a large portion of our force. Fortunately, we got some support coming up.
Critical. Enemy base is being captured. Target acquired.
When you're doing a scout role, your job is to try. One of the things is to get back and try to spot targets for the others.
Heat level critical.
Really should do that anyway, regardless of what it is. Get some locks and try to hold them on enemy units so that they can get missile barrages on them. Help your allies all work together. So that disaster averted. I go back out in a little bit of a scout roll, try to look around, get a bearing on where the team is, what's going on. The other thing I think is funny with the players that took the back shots and didn't even respond is if there was a friendly unit behind them that would have been on their radar. My guess is they didn't even notice. I mean, it would have not have it would not have been a lot of damage. I mean, obviously, given the ranges and weapons that I'm carrying on this. This part of the map I always find frustrating because it's hard to get up there. You have to find that one spot that's just a slight decline. Come up here, give some more fire support. Scouting around. The enemy force is for the most part spread out, which is good because if you can get some friendlies to group up and just to keep destroying them, you can really wipe out an enemy force with little effort. Trying not to venture too far because I'm trying to keep myself in the close support role. I'm not sure if that's the same Atlas or not. It's possible it was damaged and lost its ECM, but I'm inclined to think it isn't. His torsos are in relatively good shape. So that means the enemy team had at least 2 Atlases. Keep my eye open because I'm not maneuvering very quickly here, so if something does come upon me, I'm going to basically be a dead target, so you got to be a little jumpy running a light, faster mech. Although it's really, technically it's not a light because it is a 40-ton Cicadia. 40 ton starts the medium class, but I always think of it as a light because you are lightly armored, you have high speed. Here's where I made my mistake. See, I saw the Raven there, I saw another spider up here, and then I saw they weren't really maneuvering, so hey, I'll come in here, do some good damage, disengage. Well, the survivors had fortified themselves into their base and wasn't able to get away quite as quickly as I'd hoped. This is a resource game, and which are usually pretty boring to watch me run around and cap stuff. But this one, I came across this Jenner. And I laid chase to it, taking some shots at it, and he just ran away. At first, he may not have known I was really going for him. The problem is, he didn't do any kind of real maneuvering. You see a little bit where now he's aware of, oh, I'm really being pursued. Tries to do a little bit of twist around, but he doesn't really do much. Now, this is probably one of the worst things you can do. First, he did run into some friendlies, which he probably didn't know they were there. That's not his fault. But he wasn't trying to get around on me to shoot back. He wasn't trying to get towards some friendlies. If there were some friendlies he was trying to get to, he should have known he wasn't going to make it within a firepower is pointing into his back. So it's just really a bad maneuver. If you get somebody on your tail, turn around and try to turn the tables on them so you're running around each other shooting. If you're not able to do that, try to get some, well, ideally get to some friendlies to clear your 6, but anyway. Later that same match, I ran across his main force, and actually wasn't even that far away, so, well, now it depends on what you consider. I say not that far away because it didn't take me long to get to them, but given my speed, it's a long story. At any rate, they had a nice little defensive position set up here in the group, and they kind of, both sides, it was a resource, but it quickly turned into just assault, as both sides just kind of poured everything into this area. I'm maneuvering around and trying to be a close support harasser, trying to get some of these units to turn away. A little 40-ton Cicadia. Oh look, an Atlas, I think I'll go mess with that. And I was just running around, maneuvering, using my speed to my advantage. As long as I stay in close, he has a much harder time turning to meet me. Because as you get further away, it's easier to lead and correct on a target. As you get closer, your reaction time goes down. So he's focusing on other people, so I'm easily able to get onto his back and start tearing him up. And I believe I was going internal there. Of course, it's hard to tell with some of the other shots coming in on him. He may have still had some rear armor left there. There are actually 2 Atlases. Shortly, I start dueling with both of them. And I switch and start focusing on the other one. As the battle raged, basically both sides then started to dissipate. I don't know if they're actually being destroyed, or they were just being spread out as they're all kind of paired off into their own little maneuvering matches. These types of situations I really do enjoy because they're, such an adrenaline rush. He could kill me in one shot if he gets a shot on me. I'm not sure if those were trial mechs or not, because they were the standard configuration. They didn't seem as clumsy as I normally do see with trial mechs. I think they did have some upgrades, or at least the pilots running them knew how to run them. A lot of times with trial mechs they're really stiff because you're not allowed to have any of the skill unlocks. Even if you have it unlocked on another mech, that same one's available for trial, you run the trial version, you get no upgrades, no skill boosts. So it's a bit of a bind. Got a little big piece of me. My arms are basically there to get blown off. I put as much armor as I could on them because it will take some damage away from the torso. Just keeps turning and turning. I have 4 medium lasers on this configuration when I ran it. I don't know why he tried his LRMs. May have been a bump the button error. Just keep going and maneuvering, trying to do some damage. I believe he had no front or rear armor at this point. Finally got me. Finally took me down. And that was almost 700 damage done in that match. With 4 medium lasers. The key to surviving and doing the key to doing big damage is surviving. It's not always easy, but it can be done. In this one, I was running it's assault. I'm running my Cicadia, obviously. I was running around to the flank here, trying to see if I could do some spotting, possibly some shots on some enemy mechs. However, I really didn't have good cover for the positions they had. They were easily able to pick shots on me. I didn't have range to really engage them, so given my options, retreat or advance, I chose to advance. Not a bad idea. It's just a matter of using your mech's advantages. I had fairly open ground. Just need to get my speed up going. Unfortunately, this mech was able to deal a lot of damage. He had at least 2 large lasers going at me, so I decided to disengage. My goal now is to try to swing around to their back, possibly hit their flag, take a quick look back, see if he's pursuing me or not. If I start capturing their base, I'll be forced to come back, pulling people off the line, throwing more of an advantage to my team. Trying to keep my speed up. Never real sure what I'm going to find. I have had a few occasions where I found a defender back here that was guarding the fort, if you will. Upon entering their deployment zone, I noticed that one of them didn't load in, so I promptly start capturing the base while taking shots on the enemy mech to try to kill it off. Throw the numbers a little bit more in our favor. And of course do some more damage to get some more points, etc. Wasn't long after taking some shots. See the shots come in there, some large lasers. I'm not sure if it was, I believe it was the same mech that was shooting at me earlier. My goal now is I'm actually hiding behind the enemy mech that didn't load in, take cover, hoping to draw in the enemy so that I can then maneuver around them more easily. I also caught glimpses of other things coming in, so that's a numerical advantage against me isn't the best. So I decided to get a few more capture points here. Then I'm try to withdraw, because I've got these basically two fast mechs. I should have just taken off sooner. When I first detected the problem, I was fast. I thought I was going to sit back, draw them off, and re-engage. Now notice how I was twisting my torso left and right while I was shooting, trying to deny them my rear armor. If you have all the upgrades so you can twist your torso further and quicker, you can actually almost shoot right behind you. So I can't disengage and outrun them. So I tried to turn around and at least fight them, try to do some damage, prolong my life, and tie them up away from the fight. Lost a leg, and there I died. I should have disengaged a little quicker and just fled the battlefield. 20/20 hindsight, you know, if I'd done this, it would have been better. If I'd done that, it would have been better. But at the time, you don't know. So, until next time, game on.